Hello, everybody, and welcome to Desperate Measures. How are you guys doing today?
Doing amazing, Koibu. How are you?
I am doing great. We got a kitty cat yesterday. It's a little kitten.
What's
It's
its
cruising
name?
around, causing troubles. We're still working on the name, but it's probably going to be Pan.
Pan?
Still working on it. Pan.
Like
P-A-N.
Pan's Lab?
Like panding?
Like
Pan's
pandemic.
Oh,
Like
pandemic.
Pantalaimon. Like Panda Bear.
Pantaloons.
Like Pantaloons, yes. He would make great pantaloons.
Great name.
I mean, if you wanted, like,
I'm sure it's got
Weird
orange and
cat.
white pants,
Yeah.
that would be weird, actually.
Be like retro.
It'd be something. It'd be something that came out of the 70s, probably. Cat fur pants. Anyway, enough about me. How are you doing, Tom?
I'm doing pretty well. I'm surviving. Someone, it's a little bit creepy when you go outside your house and you see that apparently there's a notice on the door that says someone has COVID and that they're quarantined. So stuff's starting to get a little bit real around here. But
Like on
yeah,
their door?
like on the door to the entire building, there's a notice that says this person in this unit is quarantined and you need to keep your distance from, said person. It's written as if that person themselves put it up. So
Right.
yeah, I mean, it's you just got to be careful. That's all. Just doing everything you can. Yeah.
Okay. What about you, Will?
life's pretty good other than the quarantine life. Yeah, everything's still pretty chill around here.
Good. Good.
Yeah.
Connor? What's going on?
Still going to work.
Yep. Yep.
I'm essential.
You seem to be saying that with a little less joy each time I hear you say it. The first time it seemed like, oh yeah, I'm essential, and now it almost seems like pained when you say it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Soon it'll be slightly less painful.
Let's hope so. What about you, Mr. Mooten?
Not much. Just nothing's changed for me. Get up, play video games, stream it, do D&D. Yeah, nothing really changed. Shit posts online.
Good.
Got a shit
Shit
post.
posting is important.
Yeah, I mean, if we don't do it, who will?
Who will?
Right.
We are
Gotta keep
in
the
a golden
content-
age of memes.
Keep the content wheel going.
Sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, before the EU bans all the memes. Yeah. All
I
right.
can't remember who made the tweet, but I saw a tweet yesterday. It's like, hey, yesterday, Friday, I don't know. The days are all the same. I was like, hey, if this had happened 10 years ago, it's one of the Rage comics. I was looking at it.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, this makes me angry.
Oh,
Why
I
did it?
hated those
Oh.
Rage comics. Those were the fucking worst. I'm so glad that
Oh.
trend died. Oh my god, I hated
When I was in
every
high school,
last
I
one of
loved the
them.
shit out of them. I was like, oh, these were funny pictures.
Oh,
These are
man.
funny. And now I look at it and it's like, this just makes me angry.
I was an old
I
enough
think
man at that point just to be grumpy about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, those just kind of fell off. I never really remember them leaving, but I do remember them being a thing.
Yeah.
I stuck
And you
around
know
for a
what?
while.
I'm okay with their just slow, subtle disappearance.
All right. Where last we left the party, you had made your way to your new home with your people, and everyone settled down, and things were relatively peaceful. Surely the transition's hard for some of these folks. They're speaking Mistrian, other people here are speaking Eridonian, but they're all united by their common saviors and the fact that they've all been handed the shit end of the stick, and they're going to try and work together. There will be some problems. There will be some scuffles, but we don't need to go into those details because they are not worthy of your attention, and no one likes to play town management. We've tried, it's bad. So, let's just skip ahead a week or so. It'll get us
Can
to...
I say I've been doing since I took the teaching proficiency, which was made for me. I've been doing like language town halls that are mandatory for people to come to
Nice.
ease it up.
All right. Mandatory language town halls. We will come into game at the start of June. And I think it's worth noting that this is Chapter 2 of desperate measures. The first one was dealing with the townsfolk. The second one is whatever we're going to be dealing with now. So after a week of rest and relaxation, the party is gathered together again. We spoke about the things that you would like to do, and I have my notes here from that. Have any of these things come out to you as a little bit more pressing or interesting? Something you'd like to tend to?
I think we all kind of agreed, like, dealing with the Count Vicious stuff would be ideal and interesting.
Yeah.
I think we're all on the same page for that. I could be wrong. If I'm wrong,
Yeah.
step up.
I think that makes sense because, I mean, Count Vicious previously, correct me if I'm wrong, may or may not have been the rightful owner of Meadstead at some point and installed somebody to do that. So I'm not really sure if we're aware of that, but it seems like he's the closest big threat at the moment. Does that make sense? Yeah.
Especially for the town. It kind of seems like he left the dude who was here before in charge, and if he left him, then he's obviously not our friend. And it kind of seems like if he was with the undead and they're messing with Strauenheim, it seems like he's got some other big picture things going on here. So I think we were leading to keep the Meadstead safe, and he's our biggest problem in keeping him safe right now.
All right. You guys... Oh,
yeah.
go ahead.
To say, I think we were gonna go to. Well, we were gonna wait to hear what happens with Little Bobby. There's supposed to be like a new noble coming into town, and then we're gonna, I guess, probably figure that out before we just leave.
Or you
and
just
I think,
fuck off, yeah.
yeah. So we kind of want to figure what he's gonna do out.
Okay. There is indeed a new noble coming to town. It is a young man, fresh on the heels of a political victory, being assigned Meadstead as his family station. Right now, it is, I can't remember the technical term, but some titles and honors and ownership are hereditary and they'll be passed from generation to generation, and some are not. This is presently a non-hereditary ownership of this town. If he does well, his heirs will inherit it. If he does poorly or just mediocrely or somebody else comes along that could be better, it will get passed on to them.
Makes sense.
He's probably gonna come meet the greatest people and the saviors of the town.
Yes, indeed. You will see coming in today on horseback, led by leading a retinue of soldiers and retainers and whatnot. A young man in his late 20s, 29 years old, you'll find out shortly. He's 5'10", 166 pounds, so a little bit on the slender side, but not super slender. He is right-handed. Making these notes. And you'll see embroidered on his cloak is a big, like, silver swan on the lapel. He'll ride into town, look about, and then see you guys, and trot on over on his white horse and say, "Ah, you there, 4 of you. You're the 2 of you, at least, are the people who saved this town from a terrible necromancer donning his weapons and taking his place as interim leaders."
That would be us. We are the saviors of Meadstead, as they call us, I guess.
Lovely. What are your names, good people of mine?
I'm Ebner, cleric of Tempos.
I'm
My name is Valerio. Sorry.
I'm Chives. This is my friend Valerio.
My name is Jebediah.
Greetings. My name is, and you are going to be allowed to name the new Baron. Which, you know, names have a lot of power. You could name him Baron Dumas, and he would be a dumbass, or whatever. So, what do you want your Baron to be named, guys?
Oh man, you're
Baron
dipping into
Horseface.
the deal with the naming these days, huh?
Yep, I'm just passing it off onto somebody else because I'm so bad at it.
Has McTacky ever had anything like in the game? Because I'm thinking like he does the whole wiki stuff. So I don't know.
McTacky has been granted a character that he can make and name, and I'll put it somewhere in the campaign somewhere, and he has not taken me up on it yet. He is waiting and biding his time for the right
That's good.
opportunity.
He's a smart man. But like I said, Baron Horseface.
Baron Horseface?
Yep.
I don't know if I
Horse
want our-
facade.
I don't know if I want our Baron to be named Baron Horse. I kind of want him to be named something chill. That's not gonna get him made fun of.
Wait. I got one. Dude. Mike.
Baron Mike.
Wait, hold on. I have some ideas. One moment. I need to Google what it is, though.
Mike? Mike what? We'll need a last name,
Michael
Connor.
Calmwater.
Michael Calmwater.
There you
Someone
go.
said chill cool names. Okay, that's all I got,
I'm
man.
fine with Michael Calmwater, I guess.
No,
I
Michael
don't know.
Oxofloppin.
Oxofloppin. if you wanna name him some sort of Germanic sounding name. Yeah.
I was gonna say, y'all don't like Maldonado, do you?
Maldonado.
So you
That's
can
pretty
say
good.
you're Malding.
No,
there you go.
it's the last name of the Tiger King. If you haven't seen that documentary yet,
Oh, that's pretty cool.
We're starting to make our way through it.
I heard
It's
about
crazy,
that
right?
yesterday.
It's something, man. It is. Someone found like the weirdest shit in the world and was like, let's put it into a documentary. And I don't know how much. I mean, I'm only 2 episodes in, and I'm looking at the people who are making this, being like, "Are you just like taking the craziest possible footage and editing it together to wildly misrepresent these people, or is this shit as crazy as it sounds?" Holy
What
crap!
if it's both?
it keeps getting crazier. Is all I'm gonna say.
Well, we'll see.
I said the same thing after the first 2, and you know what, Neal? I was wrong.
You know, I am stunned and in disbelief, and my disbelief is active. I'm finding ways to disbelieve the illusion that these sorts of people could exist so close to one another.
What if we?
Anyway.
This would be a good one. Neil would like this. We could just name it Your Mom. So if anybody's ever talking about him, they gotta do the Your Mom.
All
Baron,
right,
your mom.
Michael Calmwater it is.
Yeah.
I am Baron Calmwater. Michael Calmwater. And I shall be taking over administration of Meadstead post-haste.
Oh.
You're all
Well.
dressed like you're off to somewhere. Where are you headed to?
We're kind of waiting to see what happens with little Bobby.
And I'll explain to him kind of what's going down with little Bobby, how he was, promised title here, and we're gonna marry him to the next person's female daughter is like the plan that I had with the Baron of Confluence. I'll spew that it his way.
He seems to be doing pretty well here, and as he's growing up, I think he'll do just fine. But he's still a little young. You know how they are.
Yes, I have been informed about the young Lord Bobby. I shall be taking him under my wing and seeing to his training so that he gets a proper education. As for his future, I have no daughter as of this time, but I do have a wife, and perhaps she will give me an heir.
Tempo's willing. All right, I think that's good enough for us. Do not go easy on little Bobby. He's a stubborn one.
We'll have to show the mystery in how we do things here in the civilized part of the world.
Hopefully, when I come back, he shows his proper respect to clerics and those of rank over him.
Hopefully. Well, cheerio, gentlemen. And he trots off with his horse, and his whole entourage picks up and follows after him.
Good. Well, I guess it could have been worse. At least he talked.
Seems
Yep.
like a good leader.
Well, are we off to Tharnham then to go check out the undead that we heard about up there? Or do you guys want to go somewhere else?
Tharnum sounds good. Oh, I've got to run one thing down to Confluence. Let me go catch up with him and drop it off with the new Baron. I'm sure he can take care of the small task for me.
It's fine.
And Chives will run into his room, pick up 2 books and a letter, and he'll go run down the Baron. Or somebody in his party.
Sure. You'll catch up at the tail end of the party, so you'll find his retainers first, but you can run ahead to the front of it if you want.
Baron, do we say Clearwater?
Calmwater.
Calmwater.
Calm water.
Baron Calmwater. I had some books that I borrowed from from the Archmage down in Confluence. I've got a letter and the books that need to be returned to him. Do you see next time you send posts that way that these reach him?
I can do that, little fellow.
Well, thank you very much, Baron. He'll hand over 2 books and a letter, and I sent you the letter in Discord.
Sweet. Being a noble, he gives you a condescending smile and continues on his way.
How hot was he? Just want to know. It's
Have
our
you
town,
rolled
Neal.
your
I
sexual
need to-
orientation?
No.
We don't know that yet, though. We can work on that later.
Yeah,
Just want
we
to know
can
how
figure that
hot
out later.
the Baron of Meadstead is.
All right. Find my dice here.
I'm making him get out the dice.
A 9, so average, very average.
It's good.
Oh,
All right.
Movie star looking people here.
No,
Just people in our bar, I think.
like movie
Yeah.
star from the 50s or 60s,
Our
Sure.
bartenders were hot, and we have the
Yeah.
chillest bar owner.
Yes,
That's
right.
You have the hot serving
Barmaids.
wenches and the chill
Bill,
Tender.
bartender.
And the best, what's it called? Temple.
the best around.
All right.
Only one around.
I guess we'll set off to Tharnum, and I'll tell you my spells in a minute.
Why were you going to? You were going to Tharnum because you wanted to see about the people around it.
We wanted to hear about the siege. Apparently, there was a big undead siege there, and all the
Yeah.
undead just left. So that's what we were going there mainly for.
All right. The party sets off to Tharnum. It is going to be just about a day to get there.
We have
So-
Mount too, right?
That was going to be my question.
Including?
You told Sean he can't downcast spells. Technically, Mount's a level 1 spell, and all my slots, I would need to use a level 2 spell slot for Mount. However, Mount does gain power as you cast it at higher levels, so I don't think it needs to be at a low level cast. So I don't. If you want to gig me on this, that was technically true or not, I don't know.
Yeah, you can. So I tend to do it on a campaign by campaign basis. So for this campaign, why don't we say you can use higher level slots to memorize lower level spells?
Okay.
So you
That's-
can use a
I'm-
second level spot to memorize a first level spell, and that's just fine.
Okay. If we're cool with that, then yeah. All
Yeah.
my spells are Mount, and they're all burned at the start of the day.
Okay. You burn your mount spells, and you all make your way to Tharnum.
Yeah.
Let's see. What happens along the way? You
If you don't-
cross. Okay,
Yeah.
go ahead.
I just gotta figure out my last spell, if that's fine.
Okay. You will cross the Honey Rapids at a bridge near Meadstead. You've seen this bridge before. You go across the sparsely wooded area that is still technically the Golden Sea. It's still part of this Great Plains, but it's starting to pick up some more trees. And you arrive at Tharnum. It is a town nestled in a valley at the start of the Dwarf Gate River. The river flows forth from Tharnum itself. And you see dwarves and humans in the distance, in the town, walking about. And you have not come across a single undead the whole way here.
Interesting.
Well, it seems it was true. All the undead have gone. At least we don't have to worry about problems coming from this side of town.
Maybe we should go talk to him and ask what exactly got him to leave or what happened.
We've got some time. I could probably ask around town and get some information.
Yeah, you go
We'll
ask
see about
around.
For sure. So
You guys
we,
can head into town. Tharnum is bustling at this point in time. People are moving to and fro. Everyone seems to be in a state of exuberant work. You don't see anybody lollygagging about, and you don't see any beggars or anyone in a state of, what do you call it, inactivity. Even little kids are helping out with something. People don't even bother to stop to say hello to you as you trot on into town.
That's rude.
Well, they're definitely driven by something. They almost kind of look like Meatstead, like someone's just taking over the town and they're rebuilding. You think they have a new Baron as well?
That makes sense. If they were under siege from undead, probably a similar situation as Meatstead, just less along the path.
Seems
That's
like
good.
they're banding together quite well. Be interesting to see what happens here.
Absolutely. I want to look for a tavern or something where people could rest, or a place people would sit down.
Yeah,
Lunch,
you
dinner,
find a
whatever
tavern
meals.
right away, right near the front of town. It's a small little place called... It's a small tavern called Moe's. Moe's Tavern.
Hey, welcome to Moe's.
So I'm gonna slip on into Moe's and look around, see if there's anybody playing games first.
There are no people playing games. In fact, there's nobody actually in the tavern right now other than Mo and two of his assistants. And they are busily going about cleaning the place, mopping the floor, polishing the bar, getting to work, making it ready. The sun is near to setting by the time you arrive, and they're prepping for the evening crowd, it looks like.
Well, look at this. It's almost like back home, guys. How's it going, Mo?
Hello? I'm sorry, we're not quite open yet.
Oh, I'm sorry. We're just really coming into town. We were kind of some proprietors over in Meadstead. Well, I'm a proprietor. Our friends over here in the back, and I'll gesture to Ebner and to Jebediah. They're actually the ones who saved the town. We had
Well.
heard that their undead had left here too, and just wanted to see what y'all were up to over here.
Well, you're right. The undead came and the undead left, and now it's busy, busy, busy. There's a lot to make up for after that mess.
Where did they leave to, or did they siege? Did they come and break in and rule over y'all, or?
He flips a table off the chair and leans on it for a moment and says, "You know, I woke up one day, they were gone. Our guards on duty looked out into the night, didn't see them all night long because you never do. They're just outside of the vision range. And when the sun arose, they were gone."
So they didn't have y'all locked up. They were trying to siege the city or something, it sounds like.
Oh,
right?
yeah, they just surrounded us and then just stood there, waiting.
Interesting.
They could stand
Which
there
way
for
did they-
1,000 years, and we were slowly whittling through our supplies. Lost quite a few people to starvation, some infighting, a few looters, bunch of thieves, a whole bunch of people ran around stealing shit, then trying to sell it back. Bunch of people stole food out of bakeries, grain out of mills. Well, our dwarven leader here put them all to death. Anyone that raised prices, heads go right off. So our town's a mite bit smaller, but only the shitty people have died, or the poor, whatever, same. And now we're here.
Well, it seems like y'all are doing pretty well under your new Dwarven leader. I didn't catch his name. Baron.
Baron Hardhat. Don't. I know what you're about to say.
That's a proud dwarf name.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Many human come in here and they look at that name askew. You say
Humans
something like
don't
that to the
know
dwarves,
shit.
they'll break your head in, and you won't have a hard hat to protect yourself.
That's true. You'll need a hard hat against Baron Hard Hat.
Mm-hmm.
Where is he? Where is his domain so I could go maybe speak with him?
Ooh, they're back of the town, back of the valley, but they're a mite bit busy now, trying to divide land between people. Now that there's fewer people around, got to figure out what to do with that. Set up extra measures, sort of work out with the other dwarves, some other stuff. You're all.
I'm sure he'd be more than happy to meet with the Cleric of Tempos.
Probably. Just so we're clear on something here, Baron Hardhat considers us member of the New Dwarven Federation, and not subject to the whims and ways of the King of Eridon, who did nothing to help us out of our siege.
That's
Just so
fine.
when you approach him, just so you know, you start talking about this place being part of Eridon still, and you might find yourself a few fingers short.
I'm a cleric first and foremost before anything. I wouldn't even consider myself a citizen of Eridon, more of a free folk.
My man, all right.
All right, well. It
Mo,
seems
did you happen to see? Did anyone happen to see where the undead retreated to? Which direction, or they just
Well,
disappeared?
it's
or?
like I told you. I wake up one day, and they're gone. Didn't see them move. It just went dark, couldn't see them. It became light, didn't see them again.
well, Valerio,
Very
maybe
strange.
Baron
Understood.
Hardhat will have some more knowledge for us. I'm sure he had some rangers or something. I'm sure Mo's just trying to keep everyone fed, happy, and full of ale. Nothing wrong with that.
Of course.
Well, you guys come on back in half an hour or so, right before the sun goes down. We still got a little bit of ale left over, and it's not going to stay around for too much longer.
You need an ale? We happen to own a very fine bar in Meadstead, and we have more ale than we can deal with. We might be able to ship some up and sell. It's mead, dwarven mead, the finest.
Why don't you give me the name of your brewer, and I'll be sure to write to them and see what we can work out.
I'll write down the name and well, go ahead, Travis.
I say, the proprietor at the Beehive is the one you should talk to. He's the one who deals with most of those affairs. He's a very chill and calm guy. You'll
And
go
who
on
is
and
this?
just- Oh, we gotta name our bar
His
guy
name's
now.
what are we good with? Like Chill Steve?
Shitface. Right?
No.
What's a chill guy's name?
Oh, I see. So for
is-
your tavern, you want to give him a cool
Yeah.
name, but when it's the
Yeah,
Baron, you want to give him a
absolutely.
shitty name.
That chill guy's name is Neal.
There you go.
Yeah, there we go. Name him Neal.
Getting
Why not?
score some
Yep.
points.
Yeah, his name's
Yeah,
Neal.
it's got,
points
even
there,
got an
DM.
eye in it.
Yeah, with an I.
Oh, all right. So he's named Shitface. Got it.
His name's Neal, and he's at the Beehive in Meadstead. I'll write down the full address for you, and I'll
Give him a write down.
Okay. It is so. He thanks you and sends you packing on your way to go visit the Baron here. Baron Hardhat.
look at that.
Now,
We're
Chaz,
getting our-
I thought you were the proprietor. Don't you own the bar?
Well, for sure, but he deals with the day-to-day operations. I mean, I can't be there. I don't want to pay people and deal with all that paperwork. You know.
I don't want to overstep, Chaz, but I do think we all own the bar. Is that fair?
Well, you know, Ebner, I didn't think clerics were allowed to own property like that. I figured all y'all were only due to the church. So
Well,
I don't know.
I'm
I just
glad
didn't
you're
wanna
not the one.
And with Valerio's past, he never owned any property, so I assumed y'all two were in the godly ways. I guess really it'd just be between me and Jeb at the end of the day.
Is that true? Can clerics not own property?
Paladins certainly can't. I don't think, unless it's just for housing and stuff.
Like you can. It's just usually it's done in service of other people, but a cleric could
Right.
own a house. It's an unusual thing. Usually they're more, living in the church, which is paid for by the people, and then serving the people. But from time to time, it happens. Sometimes there are noble clerics who definitely own shit.
Yeah. Well, I will explain.
It's not like you're a woman before the 1930s.
I'll explain to
1930s.
Travis that I am a wandering cleric and I'm able to own things, and it's all fine. I'm not asking for. I'm just saying to keep me in mind, Chives, if we get money rolling in, okay? Because I would
Of
want
course.
It.
As was with my money when getting the boat, I spend money that helps the people. If you're in need of something, always come ask. I'm not going to charge you for my time or my services or anything. We're friends here. You don't charge me for when I need things from the clerical service. I won't charge you if you need things from the bar. We just have to keep it in reason, yeah?
It's fine.
Ebner wants the Meadstead ale stamped with like his likeness on it.
Yeah, with the stamp of tempos. True.
yeah, exactly.
Nice.
There you go. Known
right.
worldwide.
He actually just wants the mead swimming pool. So
We go and visit Mr. Hardhat.
Mm-hmm. All right. You find the temple, not the temple, the keep at the back of town. It's a large stone structure, and there is a sort of a big door, like a wide door, big enough for wagons and humans to walk through. And then there's like a much smaller door that's like dwarf sized, and it's like 4 feet tall.
I'm going through the
Before we
small
go
door.
in, I want to stop everyone really quick and go, Ebner, usually when we go in and talk to people, you talk first. But let me try something this time. What do you say?
Yep, but if you start fucking up, I'm gonna start speaking.
I have no plans on speaking the whole time, Ebner. Just let me try something. I think it'll go
Right.
better for everyone.
I have faith in you, Chives, but be careful, will you?
Oh, absolutely.
I saw what you did on the boat, Chives, and I don't want to repeat.
You know, Ebner, it was a little heated situation. You know, I'm like anybody else. Sometimes my temper gets the better of me.
We all
However,
make
today
mistakes.
I'm in a fantastic mood. It's a wonderful day.
It was mighty funny to watch you hold off 2 guards and curse at them and call the knight a bitch. And don't get me wrong, I laughed, but I just don't want to repeat.
We can talk about it later, but yeah, it was a good time.
All
right.
right.
And Chives will lead the party into the Baron's place.
So they go through the short door, and Valerio
Yes.
and I are left going through the regular sized door. Valerio, why?
You will
Why
all
do
be
they-
stopped before you can go through the doors,
Yeah.
of course. But
Okay, sure.
continue. You can go ahead and say your piece. I just
But
wanted to make sure that we understood.
As we're going through the doors, like, Valerio, why do they feel so inclined to make these shorter doors?
Mhm. I don't know.
Are they like compensating for something? I feel like that's the wrong way to compensate.
Probably might be the wrong way to compensate, but I don't know much about. I mean, I've been around, but I don't know much about how white dwarfs and halflings do the things they do. Not really sure.
All right.
They could be compensating. You might be right.
As you get to the doors, there are guards on all of them. The big ones are shut, the small one is open. The guards are out front near them. See you all coming, and the dwarven guards will say in dwarven, "All right there, Mr. Cleric, that's far enough. What's your business? I ain't recognizing you. I ain't letting you in here without you giving me a proper explanation of your means and motives."
Well,
Chives will look back at Ebner and shake his head, go, I don't speak this one, I'm sorry.
well, howdy there.
Ebner gives him the good dwarven hidey-ho.
Hidey ho! They give back.
neighbor. I'm here to talk to his lordship, Mr. Baron Hardhat. We're here to talk about what happened in Tharnham. I recently cleared out with my compatriots, and I'll point at all 3 of them. We recently cleared out Meadstead of the undead, and we were coming up here to clear it out as well. But seems like there's no undead problem. I was curious if your great lordship had any intel or any rangers that kind of know where they went or what the hell happened here.
He switches back to common. You want to ask about where the undead went so you can go chase them down and kill them?
We got to make sure they
friend.
don't come back. Yeah.
Are you mad? There
I
were
don't think
thousands
so.
of them.
We
Well-
cleared out thousands at Meadstead.
Well then, if you're really capable of killing thousands of undead, I'm gonna need you all to leave your weapons here before I let you into this keep.
Not a problem.
Not a
Chuck,
problem.
It's a reasonable request, of course.
All right. They
You better
will.
be careful with mine, or may Tempos have mercy.
What do you think I am, huh? A human? I ain't gonna steal anything. My word is as good as any dwarves.
My bad. I've been going to a lot of human towns recently, and they are dumber than a box of rocks. They say in Dwarven.
There's a chuckle between them, and they say in Dwarven, "You got that right." And then they say in Common, "Well, good friends, now that we have your weapons, please follow me." And they will lead you into the keep and take you to a waiting room. One of the dwarves will tell you that they're gonna talk to the Baron, and he'll get to you when he gets to you, but it's sort of late in the evening, and it's probably gonna have to be after his supper, so you'll have to probably busy yourselves in this room for a while.
Maybe we could have supper with the Baron.
I don't think so.
Well,
It
Chives
was
will,
worth a try.
Chives will pull out his flute and start playing unless someone stops him to kill the time.
Okay.
Performance check.
if you would like.
I want to see
Absolutely,
how well you
always.
played.
Oh man, we got to go to skill. Oh, that's a party sheet. That's why there's no skills there. And then we need musical instruments. Boom,
Checks out.
checks out.
Yeah, that's quite nice. Some time later, you guys are introduced to the Baron, who comes to see you in this nice parlor that you've been waiting in. And I say it's nice by Dwarven standards. It doesn't have super fancy cushions or anything, but it has some like nice stone chairs for you to sit in that are like
Good stonework,
well
too,
made.
right?
Yeah. You know, they've got like intricate little back and forth, sort of shapeless, massless carvings, but they're as if some dwarf was like bored and just carving something and just let his mind wander as he made it. So you're in this strange room. There's no liquor here, no food, just a pitcher of water nearby that someone assured you was boiled.
I whispered to Chives to tell him how sturdy everything is and how great it is. Sturdy. Use that word.
Absolutely, absolutely. Chives will put his flute up, and as the Baron comes in, he'll go, "Oh, Baron Hardhat, so good to see you. I've come with my friends here. Ebner, the cleric of Tempos, savior of Meadstead. Jebediah is also a savior of Meadstead, and my compatriot Valerio. We've come to talk to you about the undead. And might I just say, what great craftsmanship on this table. Such sturdy tables. It's wonderful."
Why, thank you. Thank you indeed. They are pretty good, if you ask me. Now, I've been
sturdy.
told... yes, sturdy indeed. I've been told that you have high claims of killing undead by the thousands. So I only got one question for you. Where were you a month ago, or 3 months ago, or 6 months ago?
I'll bow to Ebner and go, "Father Ebner?"
Actually, we were in it's a weird story, but we were down near you know where Misty Rapids is.
Mm-hmm.
We were down there, I think, about 3 months ago, on our way to Stromheim, when we ran into headless horseman demons and headless horseman undead, and saw a massive siege taking over Stromheim. A siege of, if I can recall, do I think tens of thousands or 100,000?
Oh, man. I don't
Like
know. You can
tens.
make it up.
Ebner will
Innumerable.
an unimaginable amount of undead, not in the thousands, but in the tens to hundreds of thousands of undead around Stromheim. So we made our way up here. You know how long it takes to walk by foot. You're a dwarf. You know, good day's
Ah.
work.
Yep.
Walked all the way up here, got to Confluence, saw a sign that said there's a lot of shit going down at Meadstead, and we went up there and fucked those undead up and that necromancer. Just heard that there was undead up here as well, and we came over here as soon as we could.
Well, you missed him.
And now I'm trying to ask you if you, by any chance, know where they went, or if any of your rangers saw them leave.
They came from the east, they swept through Meadstead, and then they arrived in Tharnham not a day later. They must have gone back east the way they came. There's certainly anywhere out west they could go, and they didn't head into the hills. Our brethren out there haven't seen them at all. Not even when they were surrounding us did our smaller villages spot and the undead out there.
It's gonna be a weird question. There any mounds, any new mounds, or any fresh dirt you see on the outskirts of Tharnham? I just venture a guess maybe they buried themselves for later. Frightening as I thought might be.
Well, we've been on the lookout for that, but for a different reason than the undead. I don't know if you heard, fellow dwarf, about the Cyclops and the siege of Milfaldur.
I think I heard about that, yeah.
Well,
Yes, Father Ebner.
And the
Would-
Grell.
and the Grail, yep. So for those of you that didn't hear, Cyclops pulled themselves out of the earth as if they had been buried there for 100 years. Attacked Milfaldur, tearing down the walls, killing folks. So we've been looking for odd shapes in the earth for some time. Haven't seen them. And once the undead were cleared out, we definitely sent our mounted humans off to go scout out the area. They didn't report back anything unusual other than the tread left by who knows how many thousands of undead headed eastward.
Interesting. Do you know how many Cyclops in Milfaldor? Any rumors?
They say about a score attacked the city, but thought there might be more of them out in the hills. There's a good dwarf, solid dwarf. A dwarf named Blacksteel. He's been helping lead the what do you call it? Anti-Cyclops, anti-Orc,
Grail.
Hobgoblin Brigade. The Grail popped their heads out a little bit, popped there, then disappeared right back under the earth.
Interesting. So everything's kind of fucked up near Milfaldor.
They took care of the Cyclops. They're rebuilding their shit as we speak, if it's not already done.
Well, we dwarves are fast builders.
Sturdy builders, too.
Don't make it if it ain't done right.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, so you said there's a big path going east.
There was, but the undead left some time ago. All the grasses have probably stood up since then. We didn't follow it past the Honey Rapids. That's the way it went.
All right. Well, unless any of my compatriots have any questions. No?
So you're saying that they sieged your town and there's no discernible reason for why they left? They just...
No discernible
moved
reason for them
backwards?
to siege us either. They just surrounded us and stood there. And
Who
then they
knows why
left.
Makes sense. Who knows why the undead do what they do? So it sounds as though you had looters and thieves that you put to the sword as a result of the siege?
Mm-hmm. That's justice.
Judging from what I heard outside, it seems like you handled yourselves well.
Well, there's only one thing you do with a price gouger. You gouge out their eyes. Mm-hmm. Then you
I
hang
would
them.
agree. Seems like a fitting end for this. My greatest salutations to you for how you've handled this. Seems like an excellent job.
So you're under the new Dwarven Federation. Is that like a council, like all you barons rule together, or is one of us
No.
command?
The Thane Blacksteel runs us. He's taken up residence in Keldoram, although originally he was one of my lowly lords nearby. But he proved himself the only way a dwarf does, forging things and bashing in heads, leading people to victory and crushing our enemies. So, I think no dwarf is above his... No dwarf is above his station, and no station is above a dwarf. You know what I mean?
I understand.
Sounds like he has
completely.
quite a story.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we went up to Keldoram and it was quite sturdy and fine, and the Walders are still strong as any dwarf could ever make them. So, no undead up there either.
Good.
Well,
Seems like things are just about ready to settle down now.
that they are. Well,
Unless those demons come back.
demons were up here.
Demons?
No, they never made it out this way.
Yeah,
But they were around, you know? Last year before.
we actually
they
saw
started-
some near Thornwood.
Yeah, that's about the area that they were in. You guys have traveled over quite the distance.
We're quite the party.
You just looking for undead to bash?
We're looking for necromancers to deal with.
As long as meat stuff's kept safe.
We're trying to do good things for good people here.
You know any stories of necromancers around here?
There's one. There's a rumor that's been floating about that the people of fortune aren't what they seem. People by day, zombies by night.
I've heard this rumor as well.
But that's all haberdash or boulderdash to me. I don't think people can switch between people and undead. I think it's just people telling ghost stories.
You ever seen a lycanthrope? I think that's what they call a werewolf, right? Yeah.
We have were-rats coming into the city from time to time.
Person by day, wolf by night. Maybe the same thing happens for zombies.
Or maybe there's something else.
It's a terrifying thought.
That it is. I wouldn't venture a guess that any of your men would be interested in going around Fortune. Any brave dwarves?
We got our hands full setting things back up over here, getting them solid again. And I don't know if you saw when you come in, but walls. Empire Eridon ain't nothing anymore, and Tharnum needs sturdy walls if we're going to be holding out against whatever storms that may come, including the former Kingdom of Eridon. Now, I understand Meadstead still hails to them, so I hope we can be peaceable, even if your king, that gilded ass that he is, causes problems.
Oh, we're gonna be fine, friends. If you guys ever need any of the greatest ale this side of the continent, it's from Meadstead. Maybe I switch back to Dwarven. Between you and I, maybe we get Meadstead back into maybe get him into the Federation, but could be
How
a
many
far way
dwarves
down.
you got in Meadstead?
Not many now, but we got a bunch of Miscreants. That may, yeah. That's gonna throw him through a loop there.
Still in Dwarven, he says, well, can't be part of the Dwarven Federation if it's not mostly Dwarven. Sorry, buddy, but you're welcome here in Tharnum anytime you want. We could always use a good cleric, a good dwarf. Why don't you come here? Why don't you move to Tharnum?
Oh, I thank you, but I have necromancers to kill. Fate of Tempos, Will of Tempos, you know. Yeah, all those things.
All right, he switches back to common. So, anything else you need from me, or are you just looking for the way the undead went so you can hunt them down and kill them?
Mostly looking for the undead, I think, where they went. And if you heard any necromancer stories, maybe we'll go to maybe we'll go check out Fortune.
Stay strong.
Yeah, weird question. One more. Does Kelderon have any mithril mines or anything? I've been looking to get my hands on some. And I know that we're the only ones who got them.
He leans in. What do you mean, mithril mines?
I'm just looking for ways to improve my party so I can mess with Fortune.
Everyone knows there's only one source of mithril in all of Arcadia, and that's in Mystria. Maybe you should go ask your Mystrian friends about it.
I ain't got no Mystrian friends, sadly. I took them all out of there, moved them over to where I thought would be better. Fuck Scoria and fuck that dragon.
Well, thank you, Baron Hardhat. Thank you for your time and your efforts. We truly appreciate it. I think we'll be on our way now. Thank you so much. Give a good bow and kind of usher people out until we say something else offensive.
All right, you guys can head on out, and the guards will give you back your weapons.
Absolutely. And we head back to the tavern for tonight?
Yeah, for the night.
Assume so, yeah.
On the way
You
back,
guys-
but Edna, that last question you asked him, he seemed to get very uppity about that. I feel like they almost didn't shut up about it and held a ram. Like,
Did
why?
they talk about it a lot? I can't remember.
We definitely heard about it, and I can't remember if that was chives just like, oop, listen to the rumors good, or if they actually didn't shut up about it.
I just wanted, I just know Mithril's the best, so I thought Doors would know where it is.
It seems like he was really mighty fucking pissed off about that.
Well,
Maybe he's got a secret mithril run or some shit.
Well, Ebner,
Oh,
as you
wait a
know,
minute,
dwarves
wasn't it?
oftentimes keep things close to their chest. He may not just want to share his secrets openly. maybe if we earn his trust, he may be more willing to share. Jeb, I'm sorry.
Didn't we hear that that's kind of one of the ways that Black Steel kind of rose up to power, was he got his hands on a lot of mithril?
Yeah, I think that's actually what we did here. I think it's better not to pester this guy about it anymore, though. It doesn't seem like he knows. He might know of it, but he ain't wearing mithril. He doesn't got a mithril mine. It's probably more up there in near Keldaram.
If
Well,
he
maybe
is,
they'll tell
sorry, go ahead.
maybe one day we'll take a trip up there, but it sounds like Fortune's got our undead problem sitting in it for now.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I'm just afraid if we go there, I'm gonna lose more friends.
Well, maybe we head that direction, but maybe not all the way into Fortune. Maybe we skirt the outer villages and towns and see what information we can gather.
See what we can find, maybe. Yep. I'll go around and look for people to cure disease on, I guess, for the night, just to use those 2 spells.
Sure. You don't find any diseased people about right now.
Fuck. I'll just cast them, I guess, but doesn't
Okay.
matter.
You'll
This guy
burn the
gotta get rid
cure
of the spell
diseases
slots.
uselessly. Yeah.
Yeah,
Dwarves know how to take care of their shit, man.
it's true.
No,
They
they know
really
how
do.
to hide their shit.
Oh, that's true. Could be too.
A little bit of both. Okay.
Mm.
You guys can bed down for the night in the tavern, and I guess we will. We're already at our first break. We'll see you guys on the other side with a little bit more desperate measures. Bye bye.